So we just got some information on upcoming products as well as the prize support and the BCS event and the ban list. If you still need any Vanguard cards, you can go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn for a discount. A bunch of the stuff that we'll be talking about you can pre-order there already. So first on the product schedule here we have a booster pack Dimensional Transcendence in August, so that's pack 3 and the festival thing is soon. Then we have Monasterio at the end of September. Then we have Destined Showdown. So this is actually going to be the set that's mostly going to impact BCS because I don't think there's a lot before October. A couple though, we'll go over it. Then in January we have the Harry and Nitro's deck set. So that means there's actually quite some time of no changes. You know, November, December, and then basically the whole month of January. So basically 3 months because this is the end of October. Wait, no, November, December, all of January. Yeah, three whole months literally of no changes. So I hope this set is like interesting enough to keep things going there. Now for the ban list, and this is really sad to me, all they did was they took like the restrictions from Japan from like a long time ago, which means Shiranui not together with this Overtrigger and then Luart not together with a dog. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure even with this change, Shiranui was still best deck in Japan, especially because the festival thing is getting those dual nation thingies, and that like means that the format doesn't shift that much, except that Shiranui lost like its contender in Luart. Now you could say, oh, in set 3 it'll be fixed, so that doesn't matter. I don't know. I feel like they're kind of overstaying their welcome, or at least they could have tried to do some R&D, maybe find some other type of restriction. Now, the other annoying thing, of course, is the no changes on Premium and V. Now, in V, I don't really mind because of, you'll see why very soon, but also, like, without new product, V can't really change that much. But Premium, I think, like, certain overdress cards here and there still have impact. The deck sets always have really big impact. And then I think just deck out Fenrir is a very cringe deck. So, like, you don't want that, especially because you will notice the time rules actually haven't been that updated or, like, haven't been changed in the correct direction, let's say. So that means that, you know, you now have this annoying deck that's pretty strong right now, Fenrir deck out, but it's made pretty dog shit by the time rules. But people will still try it. I don't know, not a big fan of that. I do think you need some changes here. Of course, I would also like to see Premium product, but for now, like, I think just like a ban list change would be already a very good start. Now, other changes in standard is, you know, this unrestriction for Valshablan, ho, and then the unrestriction for Swirler and GG, which means I guess Jet can like grade 2 game against Shiranui Copium. I don't know about that. And then finally, you have the Ride Line edition thing as well, so you have to play Genkai. So this does mean that the grade 2 game of Shiranui gets weaker, but as we saw in Japan even, they were very happily swapping to this lineup and still winning, even without the whole Shoujo Doji line. You know, they can just ride up, they can just farm still. They are okay with it. They're not super happy, but it's still gonna be like one of the best decks, if not just the best deck still. Like, this deck is still crazy. Now, the pricing is pretty interesting. So they've kind of moved away from their previous setup, and that setup has lived for a long time. Basically, for a long time, you would have a top 8 playmat, if you get top 8, you know, one like this, and then there would be a medal or a trophy, as you can see some over there. This would be like the next tier for top 3, let's say. So you had top 8, a mat, then this top 3, and then finally you would get prize cards for first place specific. So that was the pricing structure for a long time, and sometimes you would slightly deviate from it. At one point you had top 8 like promos and then top 3 prize cards in Springfest, but of course that pricing had its limits. The main issue, of course, is that top 4 felt awful. When you got 4th place specifically, you were walking away with just your top mat and nothing else. Whereas you saw top 3 not only get their Worlds invite, which is, you know, what you're kind of going after, but then also the medal and so forth. So now, as you can see, they have this new system where for top cut, you get your special energy generator. Then you have a top 8 playmat and a top 4 prize card. So prize cards are going to be a whole lot less rare, let's say. But maybe that's quite okay, because it sure as hell beats 4th place going home with nothing after just losing their Worlds qualification. Now, another system here is that for standard specifically, you're going to have 2 sets of prizes, set A and set B. And what I think is pretty interesting about that is that it makes farming multiple BCSs slightly more enticing. You know, there are some players who will go to almost all the BCSs, let's say, and when you get the same top 8 mat for the 5th time, it's starting to get like, you know. Whereas here, cool, you can at least look forward to maybe having the different set, let's say. So I'm down for that. I think that's pretty cool. Now, the only issue, of course, is that some people may really prefer one or the other. So like maybe you absolutely hate this chick, or maybe you absolutely hate this guy, and now maybe you got like the wrong set, let's say. That could feel a little bittersweet. Now then, for premium, you don't have the energy generator thing, which makes sense because so far premium doesn't even have energy. You instead just have an additional participation pack. Now this is obviously like weaker, you know, if you get top 8 and you can compare like an energy creator, which is specific to just the participation pack. Then again, if there's like really good cards in this participation pack, this could actually get you money. So I don't know about that. Whatever you prefer. I would have probably preferred the energy generator thing, but it is what it is. Then you still have the top 8 playmat, and you also have the top 4 PR cards. So here you don't have the 2 set bonus, but personally, I don't really care. Like usually like prize cards are just cool because they're prize cards, and it doesn't really matter as much which it is, to me at least. You know, I don't intend to sell them. They're just sitting there. They're really cool, and you're like, oh, cool, I earned this. So whether it's this one or if there was like an alt mile instead, I don't really mind. But I do like the system. I like this little set thing here. Now next, you have regional qualifiers side events. And this is pretty interesting. The side event is a V-Premium tournament, which is essentially telling us, hey, V-Premium is no longer a main supported format, at least at BCS. You know, you have your participation card, which is this BCS Neo Nectar thing. Then top 8 is a Grieger Chronicle, PG, and Champion gets alt mile. Now, what's really funny here is that this alt mile is basically more rare than all the top 4 prize cards. Because first of all, who says that your V-Premium side event is even gonna launch? Because it's a side event, maybe not everyone is that excited for it, especially because it requires you bringing a V deck to a tournament where you won't be able to use it unless you go to the side event. But then it's also one, only the champion gets this, whereas top 4 is getting the other ones. So pretty funny how they're getting like the more exclusive thing, I guess. And then free fight tournament, you are getting these like specific fancy energy cards. So that's pretty cool as well. Just to actually have something specific for the side events. I'm down for that. Finally, for Shadowverse, I don't know anything about this game, but is this good? Is this bad? Let me know. Now, next, for BCSs, we can go to the prizes. We already kind of went over that. As you can see, the participation cards are like these FR versions of triggers, I guess. And then you get a tote bag. I'm actually down for that. That's pretty cool. And then you have your the things we talked about before. All of this we already saw. Do we not get trophies anymore? Type A or Type B, Premium, Wise. Top 3 gets a certificate, and you will get your non-sponsored invite, and then champion prizes. Okay. You do get a trophy for getting first. Okay, so you get a trophy for getting first, but not for top 3 anymore. And you get your sponsored invite. And then you have to require your application within a week, and otherwise it goes down to the 2nd. Wow, that's rough. Then we can go to schedule, and you can already see a bunch of dates were announced. As you can see, the season is now very long. It goes until basically mid-March, which means that Worlds is probably going to be in April. So you're going to have a spring Worlds rather than a winter Worlds. I'm not sure if I'm digging that because I really liked Japan in winter all the time. You know, some snow vibes. We did have some pretty wet, annoying nights because of snow as well, but I don't know. I like winter Japan, but maybe spring Japan is dope too. You know, you get the sakura or whatever the hell it is. But yeah, so these are your locations. I hope you're excited for them. I think there's no New York yet, which is weird. And then for Europe, what is really annoying in my opinion is the season is like twice as long, but we have less events than before. I mean, I'm fine with it, but like that's pretty annoying. I think you could have definitely had like a Germany and a Belgium in there, though please, Germany and Köln or something close by, not super far out. I think Germany is probably gone because you no longer had good attendance because they always put it in buttfuck nowhere. But yeah, I think having a Belgium and a Germany to at least pad out that season would have been pretty cool. And Asia, Oceania, similar issue. Not many options just yet. But yeah, that's all of the announcement. Lots of news today. Hope you found this interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you still need any Vanguard cards, you can go to 50cards.shop and use the code Solemn for a discount. I will see you soon. Ciao.